let's work backwards to determine a missing dimension when we're given the surface area of a prism or cylinder. Now, because they just said surface area, we're going to assume that means total surface area. So I can see that I'm working with a cylinder, meaning to find the area of the base, I'm going to be using the formula pi r squared to find the area of a circle. And to find the perimeter of the base, because it's a circle, we call it circumference, but it's the same idea, the distance around, but that's going to be 2 pi r. So let's see what's missing from our cylinder this time. We may be missing the height, we may be missing the radius. I can see that the height is what's missing. That's what they have not told me. So I'm just going to put an h in my height blank. The radius of the circle is 2.5 meters. I see they gave me that. So I should be able to find the area of the base as well as the perimeter of the base. So if I get an approximate answer of for the base area, I'm going to do 3.14 times the radius squared. And I'm going to use a calculator to help me out with the math on this. That gets me about 19.63 for a base area. To find the circumference, the distance around the base, I'm going to do 2 times 3.14 times the radius of 2.5. And that gets me a perimeter of about 15.7. So let's go ahead now, now that we have all that we can have figured out, let's work on finding what that missing height's going to be. So our formula to find the total surface area of a prism or cylinder is perimeter times the height plus 2 times the area of the base. So let's plug in what we know and do some algebra to solve from there. So my total surface area that was given to me was 157.08 square meters. The perimeter, I figured that out, that was 15.7, times the height, which I don't know, plus 2 times the area of the base, which was 2 times 1963. So we have some really nasty numbers we're working with, but reach for your calculator. That should help avoid a lot of hassle and headache with this problem. So I'm going to start with doing 2 times 1963. So let me rewrite what I have then. 15.7h. Once I multiply 2 times 1963, I get 39.26. If you know the algebra, why don't you go ahead and pause the video and finish the algebra out on your own. Otherwise, you can let it play through, and I'll just kind of do my work right here. So next up, I'd have to subtract 39.26 from both sides. That left me with 117.82 is equal to 15.7h. And finally, I'll divide both sides by 15.7, and that gets me a height of approximately 7.5, and my units are just going to be in meters. So my height is about 7.5 meters to get that total surface area. Now they've asked me to do one more thing, and that was to find the lateral surface area. That means just the sides of this, so not counting the circles. I want to find just what's the area of the side of this. So in other words, if you think of like a soup can, what would the area of the label of the soup can be for this? Well, since the lateral surface area does not include the 2 bases, my formula is just perimeter times height. I don't want to add on the 2 bases this time, so it's just P times H. So we figured out the perimeter up above. The perimeter was 15.7. And by working backwards, we were just able to figure out the height to be about 7.5. And once I multiply those values together, I get a lateral surface area of about 117.75 square meters. Now, of course, our lateral surface area is always going to be less than our total surface area, since our total includes the 2 bases and our lateral does not.